black man stop a fight late? Huh? Can a black man do a late stoppage? Huh? I was going to talk a little bit about Pereira today, but I got to give the credit. There's a channel that I scrolled across recently. No Bromo MMA. And he released a video the other day. And I wanted to make sure if I even talked about the Pereira thing that I mentioned that channel, because he's the dude that made the whole thing about it. And if you want to know about what happened with Pereira and this whole seminar thing, you should go watch that dude's video. Because as far as I'm aware, he's the only dude that has attacked it in the way that he did pretty comprehensively. So I didn't want to come on here talking about it, all the ins and outs, like if, it's my thing. But he made a video about it, and it doesn't look good. Alex Pereira, he really does seem like a bad guy. A really bad guy. And I think, people loved him, and he messed up, man. He was really riding that wave of stoicism. And a lot of the time where people put their, it's when they put their big old pata in their mouth and people start to have second thoughts about them and kind of find a lot of pockets where they disagree with them, is when they start talking too much, man. That's why it's hard for somebody like me and what I do. And I know I brought this upon myself. Nobody forced me to be a YouTuber. Nobody forced me to talk for a living. But it's unfortunate, bro. It's unfortunate. Before I started being a YouTuber, I was stoic. I used to be stoic. And I lost that. You can't be a YouTuber and be stoic, bro. You got to pick one. You can't have your cake and ice cream. It doesn't work. You get that social diabetes. It's too much. It's overwhelming. You overwhelm the people. You send mixed signals. You seem fake. So you got to choose a path. And Pereira has chosen his path. He started doing all those collabs with Nina Chama. He started doing all those gambling sponsorships. Now he's going on his world tour about smoking that herb Dean Green. And I saw Big John McCartney and Josh Thompson and that other MMA dude that Kobe Covington told to do push-ups, that journalist guy. I feel bad. I don't remember his name. He always used to wear that bright blue shirt. And now, I don't know. He got a stain on it or something. I don't know. But, and that's not a fat joke. But, one of the things that they were saying was, I think it was Big John McCartney. It was Josh Thompson or Big John McCartney. And they were like, is he ruining his legacy? Is he ruining his legacy by crying and going on and on and on about smoking that herb Dean Green? And the dude, again, the MMA dude, please let me know if somebody knows his name. He was like, I don't know if he's ruined his legacy, but I forgot how he worded it. He said something like he's kind of ruining the way that people perceive him, though. Because that was the reason he was so cool, because of his stoic nature. Somebody said, I was scrolling the other day and I saw in the comments, I thought it was hilarious. And I wish I remember who it was so I could give him credit. Someone said that he was like that dude from Night at the Museum. What's his name? Where he goes, his name Dum Dum? Dum Dum wants some gum gum. It was like, that was the most Pereira would ever talk. Chumma, chumma, chumma. And it's just too much now. Like that was all he had. Aura and intimidation and just like being that presence. And he's just destroyed it now. He's made himself look like a crybaby. And he keeps saying, but this ain't about me. I'm not trying to appeal the fight. It's not about me. It's for the next generation. You don't care, bro. And look, I'm not. Man. It gets a little bit tricky when you start talking about certain topics. And I touched on it a stream or 2 or 3 ago. That Alex Pereira's been accused of some of the same things that Conor McGregor's been accused of. And Gable Stevenson. But people don't care about that because Pereira kept winning. And he kept looking cool, and he kept being that stoic dude. And the marketing was right. One of the things that he was allegedly accused of, in addition to what Conor McGregor was full-blown accused of, was stalking. And I mean, it's hard to not believe all victims when he's out here stalking Ariel. I mean, it seems like it because of how much, but when he's out here stalking Herb Dean, he's still stalking. This is like the squeakquel, Alex Pereira, still stalking. He's up to his old habits. All his stories, he's like a scorned lover. It's crazy, man. He's calling Herb Dean in the middle of the night. Breathe. He just breathes and then he hangs up. And then I saw a video the other day. I think the UFC uploaded it. It was like one of those ones, you know how they do like with the NBA or whatever. Sometimes they'll release a video that just shows footage like body cams from like the referees and stuff like that, give you a close up. For years, Dana White was like, Herb Dean's the best. He's the best referee. He's the best. He's amazing. He's the standard. And then in that video at UFC Freedom 250, the camera picked up Dana White telling Donald Trump that Mark thinks he's Goddard. He goes, he's the best referee. He's the best. Wow, the most horrible time for Herb Dean to see that news, man. No wonder he's smoking that Herb Dean green. He's trying to disassociate. For years, he's held that place in Dana White's enlarged heart. And now, Mark thinks he's Goddard. Handing the title over to a Brit, to a red coat at the White House. On camera. I thought body cam footage only got these officers caught up. Now Dana White, that's messed up, man. First time ever they interviewed Dana White and they're like, what do you think about it? Do you think it's time for Herb Dean to retire? And he's like, I don't know. You know what I say when they start talking about retirement? He was always standing by that dude. Can a black man stop a fight late? Huh? Can a black man do a late stoppage? Huh? How about that? Dana White? Ooh, looks bad now. Dana what? Dana White? Can a black man do some late stoppages? Dana White? Doesn't look so good, Dana White. If you ask me, can a black man let some back of the head shots go if Big John McCartney said that it's okay because he's the one that invented the rules? Huh, Dana White? Anyway, Alex Pereira, he seems like a bad guy. Now look, allegations, I get it. Allegations, wasn't that the name of like an old Motown group, the Allegations? I think it was. ARJR, where are you, bro? I need your backup. I can't remember. That sounds like an old like Motown group. But what a terrible name, huh? The Allegations. But he's been accused of some bad stuff. And he was like a raging alcoholic. And I mean, some of these I'm not trying to like kick a dude. I'm not trying to hit a dude in the back of the head while he's down because he got caught from the cleanest jab you ever seen in your life. I'm not trying to do that. But not only does he have these, I know the past doesn't necessarily make the person. Okay? But he has a pretty bad past. And you know what, when you think about it, I was thinking about this the other day. It's weird that none of us saw this when it happened. But if you're trying to think about whether or not Pereira's a good or bad dude, think about this. He beat Israel Adesanya twice in kickboxing. Now, and look, I didn't even know I was going to talk about this right now in the stream. And so I didn't do, my 100% due diligence before speaking about this right now. If I remember correctly, the narrative is that Adesanya was winning both of those fights, I believe. And then didn't he get knocked out in one of them and another one was a decision? I don't know. I think one of them was a tricky, iffy decision and some people thought Adesanya won it or it was close. And then the other one, Pereira was losing, then he knocked him out at the end. I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, I thought about this the other day for the first time ever. Pereira was 2-0 against this dude. Adesanya had to leave. Adesanya had to flee kickboxing. He had to flee the sport of kickboxing. Just like he had to flee his home country of Africa and go to China and start a new life as a Chinaman so that he could make that money, You remember how he said in that video he wanted to make that Laker money. I've already covered it. It's a real thing. Look it up. He wanted that Laker money. That was his own words. And so instead of letting this dude be happy, this dude had to flee. He had to go get a new life. He had to go get a new name. He had to get a new nationality. He had to get a whole new ethnicity. He had to go full Lilyhammer style. Look into it. It's a good show. And then, okay, I know Adesanya is annoying. He was running his mouth. He spoke up a little too much. But instead of letting it go, instead of knowing, hey, he's licking his wounds, you're 2-0 against him, Pereira says, Shama, I'm going to go use and abuse that dude. I'm going to go find him. I'm going to beat him there. I'm going to take everything he worked for. Like, that's kind of like a bad guy move. He was already 2-0 against him. Dude had to go start a whole new life. Probably had to buy a new dog. I don't know what the rules are of taking dogs in and out of countries. I don't know if he had a dog. No, that was before. I was thinking about when he went from Africa to China. But I think he was already in China when he was doing glory. Oh, you know what? If he had a dog in China, there's no way those Chinese dudes let him leave with the dog. Yeah, that dog's gone, if you know what I'm saying. And I refuse to elaborate. I refuse. So you can come to your own assumptions. And if it's inappropriate and if it's racist, that's on you. Yeah, you just learned something about yourself today. Yeah. But that dog never left China, and I think we both know that. So he had to get a new dog. He had to get a new dog even. And Alex Pereira said, I'm going to go beat him there now. That's a bad guy. There was all these accusations, all these allegations, stuff that we saw him do. And then there's this thing, and again, I got to give the credit to No Bromo MMA. He made a video, and I'm sure you guys have already heard the news. Alex Pereira went and did this seminar, and he phoned it in. He literally should have. He should have just done it via FaceTime. He phoned it in. He was mean to everybody. He didn't want to do pictures. He didn't want to do autographs, which was apparently in the contract. He's like, no chama, no chama. And people were upset. Kids were crying. He just refused to do it. He ended the seminar early. He just dipped. He didn't even want to give any kind of love and attention to the people who have made him who he is. Hey, I know your check might say UFC, Alex Pereira, but it wouldn't have ever been printed out if it wasn't for those people rooting for you, buying the pay-per-view, taking the time to customize pairs of shoes for you, little 7, 8-year-old children. Anyway, go watch the video. It's terrible what he did. He just seems like a bad guy. Seems like he doesn't care about anybody. Maybe he's upset. I don't know. I know what. Maybe he's depressed. Maybe he gained too much weight and it messed with his cortisol or whatever. I know I got a little bit chunky. You know, I went out of commission. I got lazy. You know, when you start gaining weight, when you start getting unhealthy, you get depressed. Maybe he's depressed. Maybe he's taking it out on other people. He doesn't know how to regulate his emotions. Maybe he has misplaced anger. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he got hit on the back of the head too many times and he's still concussed. Maybe remember when Roseanne Barr, she got hit by a car. She came out, she started speaking French. It does something. I don't even know. I'm sure you guys have anecdotes and stories about that and things you've seen online. It's one of those things that happens. It's a very real thing. You get rocked in the head and it could change you. It could change your personality, which I guess it didn't completely alter his personality in this case, because from all accounts, it appears that he was a dirtbag even before he got brutally, viciously rocked with the cleanest jab I ever seen in my life, and then subsequently was hit with the illegal blows. But yeah, I don't even know why we started talking about him.